What's up, everybody? I have some very exciting news about one of my favorite shows. Stranger Things 5 has officially begun filming in Atlanta, Georgia. I know for most of you, you've probably already heard about this or seen it on Instagram or Twitter or what have you, but the new season is officially underway, and I just want to talk about the timeline we could be expecting and just kind of how things have unfolded in this whole process of getting to this point, which is still kind of early in the process, but it feels like such a big victory for the fans given how much things have been delayed. So to think about how long we've been delayed here, the show was supposed to start filming last May or June of 2023, and it's now January 2024. The official start date of filming that was officially announced by Stranger Things by Netflix was January 8th, this Monday. But there were rumors that the show had actually started filming last week, January 4th or January 5th, as many of the older kid actors, Joe Keery, who plays Steve, Maya Hawke, who plays Robin, Natalia Dyer, who plays Nancy, and Charlie Heaton, who plays Jonathan, were all seen on set in Atlanta earlier than a lot of the other cast. And these rumors were confirmed on Monday, January 8th, when we got a picture from Stranger Things, Netflix, and many of the actors in the show showing them in what seems to be an apparent script read for Stranger Things 5, of course. And just about everyone that we would expect to be there is there to read the scripts. And it's just a nice picture to give to the fans, showing that, hey, we finally made it to this milestone, at least, of beginning the production of season 5 and getting this show on the road one last time. Of course, we had to wait this long because of the actors and writer strikes that combined spanned about half a year, the second half of 2023. So it was very unfortunate for the fans because not only was Stranger Things delayed, but so were a lot of other shows and movies that were expected to begin production in that time frame, or some of which were already in production or in the writing phase, that were put to a halt because of this as well. But now, as fans, we can take a sigh of relief, if you will, because yes, the show is still a ways away from coming out, but at least I know the wheels are in motion now. I don't have to sit here playing out the scenarios in my head. Well, what if they don't start filming for another 6 months? And then what if post production takes so and so long? Now, at least I know they have begun filming. Filming is expected to take about a year now because of the delays, and I think everybody in this cast and crew is just ready to go. They have everything written out to a T. It seems like everyone really wants to get this done correctly, but to get it done as fast as possible. So I do think they're going to try to expedite the filming process and maybe get this done in a little less than a year. So possibly having this filming done by October, November, but realistically, to play it safe, we can expect them to wrap up filming at the very end of this calendar year in December or next January. So in my opinion, factoring in 5 to 6 months of post-production, all the special effects that need to be put in for a show like Stranger Things, especially with how epic we expect the special effects to be with Vecna and Eleven fighting and what have you in season 5, we can expect those to probably last 5 or 6 months. So I wouldn't expect Stranger Things 5 to release until at least July of 2025. And honestly, I could see it being later. I could see it being in the last quarter of 2025 or even the last third of 2025. I certainly don't think it will release any later than the end of 2025. I think there's no way this gets pushed to 2026, but also no way that it gets released in 2024 as well. I think mid to late 2025 is the sweet spot for when we can expect Stranger Things 5. So taking a look at the picture of the cast here that was released by Stranger Things and Netflix to announce the beginning of production of season 5, I do notice a couple interesting things about this picture. One of which is that Argyle, played by Eduardo Franco, is mysteriously missing from this picture. Now, there's been no news on this from any news outlet or from a reliable source close to the show or from anyone within the show that Eduardo Franco wouldn't be returning as Argyle. So it's quite surprising not to see him there with the cast and the Duffer Brothers. But obviously, this could mean something. This could mean maybe something happened with him and he won't be in season 5. Or, us fans could just be reading too much into it and he couldn't make it for this reading that day. He had something going on. So basically, we really just don't know the situation with that. Now, Argyle wasn't one of my favorite characters in season 4, his first season in the show. I didn't especially enjoy him, but I would like to see him in season 5. And I would think it would be a little bit weird if he just was written off as, I don't know, going back home to California and not staying there with Jonathan, his new best buddy. I think it would be a little weird. So hopefully this situation gets resolved, and well, we can see if there even is a situation. I'm not claiming that there is one. Maybe he just wasn't there for the picture that day. But it did seem like every other critical member was there essentially. Even Amy Beth McNulty, who plays Vicky in Stranger Things season 4, who was kind of a minor character, has kind of a love interest going on with Robin, but aside from that wasn't too involved in the show. Even she was there for the script reading and for this picture that Netflix and Stranger Things released. So it's definitely a bit mysterious that Eduardo Franco isn't there as Argyle, but we'll just have to see how the situation develops. Another interesting note, if you missed the casting announcement, is that Linda Hamilton, best known for her work in the Terminator movies, is now a part of the Stranger Things 5 cast and will be in the show in some capacity. Now, what type of role she's going to have, we don't necessarily know. A lot of people are assuming she's going to be one of the main people portraying a military presence in Hawkins. Others think she'll be a local that kind of leads the charge of just the citizens in the area. I really think she could be in the military. I think that would make sense, and it would kind of pay homage to her roles in those classic 80s films, which the Duffer Brothers like to do with other characters. Nevertheless, I think Linda Hamilton will be an exciting addition to our cast, and one that was unexpected for season 5 after they said in season 4 that they would be adding no more characters. But I realize this is something that probably just came up because they're like, okay, we need someone to lead the military, we need someone to be a leader in town, or there's just something else in the plot or subplot where another character is needed that we're not really aware of yet. But I'm sure the Duffer Brothers certainly wouldn't have done it if it wasn't absolutely necessary, because they know there's already so many characters on the show. It's already so jam-packed. So I'm sure she will have an important role, but I don't think she'll be too overbearing, because I think a lot of season 5 is going to be focused on giving the characters we've followed all along a proper send-off. But aside from this, we have all of the people expected here, all of our regulars. Another couple characters who mysteriously aren't here, but we weren't really sure if they'd be in season 5 and still aren't sure, are Dr. Owens and Enzo, or Dimitri, who's a Russian prison guard who's in a lot of scenes with Hopper in season 4, if you remember. We didn't really know what their future held after they weren't shown at the end of season 4. But Murray also wasn't shown at the end of season 4, and Murray is in this cast picture. Now, I know Murray is a much more prominent character than these other two, but the other two were still very involved in season 4, and Dr. Owens was in the show dating back to season 2. So you'd think if they're going to be in season 5, they might be in this picture, but maybe just some of the more minor characters weren't here. But once again, you have Vicky here, and it's just all a little confusing. But once again, reading into one little picture is probably not the right thing to do here. One final cookie of secrecy I want to dive into here is when Ross Duffer, co-creator of Stranger Things, posted an Instagram story about a month ago outlining a lot of the characters that were going to be in season 5, and they had one name scratched out. Now, conceivably, a lot of people thought this character would be Max Mayfield, because they wouldn't want to reveal this early whether Max was going to be alive or dead or still in a coma in season 5, because her status is kind of uncertain at the end of Stranger Things 4. So people thought they might be doing that to keep the mystery of Max alive. But then just a few weeks later, they release her, Sadie Sink, who plays Max, in the picture with the rest of the cast for season 5. So it doesn't really seem like they're trying to hide her presence or the fact that she will be back for season 5 in some capacity. So naturally, it makes you wonder, whose name were they scratching out? As you can see here, the list outlines Joyce Byers, Jim Hopper, Mike Wheeler, Nancy Wheeler, Jonathan Byers, Eleven, Lucas Sinclair, Dustin Henderson, Will Byers, Karen Wheeler, Steve Harrington, Robin Buckley, Murray Bauman. So all regulars on the show, right? So people thought that, of course, Max was the one crossed out. But now we're really left wondering, who did they scratch out there? And a lot of people are theorizing that it means, oh, they don't want to reveal that Eddie is coming back and that he really didn't die in Stranger Things 4. Personally, I hope this isn't the case. I think Eddie had a good death, and I don't think it would make sense to bring him back in any way, shape, or form. Of course, it could be somebody like Vicky, who we saw in the cast picture, or whatever character Linda Hamilton is playing in season 5. But those actors were shown in the cast picture for the announcement of the production for season 5. So once again, why would that character's name be scribbled out here? Or not to speculate or spread rumors, but if something did happen with the character of Argyle, maybe they already had this list printed out and they scribbled out Argyle's name. That's just a theory that I just came up with, though. So really don't know exactly what's going on with this list that Ross Duffer posted. Don't know exactly what's going on in the picture and, a couple people who are missing. But what we do know is that production has begun officially for Stranger Things 5, meaning we are one step closer to getting the final season of Stranger Things, one of the biggest shows, especially in the streaming era, that we've ever seen. One of the biggest hits in pop culture as far as TV shows go, and one of my personal favorite shows as well, as you can probably tell if you look at my channel and see how many videos I make about it. So I'm really excited for this. I'm excited that this announcement has been made and that progress is finally being made with our cast and crew, and that the Duffer Brothers can finally put their vision for how this show ends onto film, and they can finally get it going. And all we can do is hope that they stick the landing with the ending of Stranger Things, and I certainly think they will. Once again, I would expect Stranger Things 5 to release in mid to late 2025, and of course, I wish we could get it sooner too. But then again, this is the last hurrah, so I guess dragging out the process and enjoying everything about it a little bit isn't the worst thing. Because after this next season, there will be no more Stranger Things. There may be some spin-offs within the Stranger Things universe, but it really won't ever be the same. So I guess I'm not too upset about having to wait a little bit for this final season. Thank you for watching this update about Stranger Things and the beginning of production for Season 5. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of January. So if you could help me reach that goal, I'd really appreciate it. I'll continue posting videos along the Stranger Things 5 journey, from updates and filming to set leaks. I'll be posting shorts about stuff like that. So stay tuned to my page if you're interested in seeing more about that. And until next time, I'll see you guys.